The phone buzzed at 2:47 a.m. Harry was awake. He'd been awake for hours, lying in bed in his Montecito mansion while Megan slept beside him. He grabbed his phone from the nightstand, squinting at the screen in the darkness. One new message. From William. Harry's stomach tightened. They hadn't spoken in months. Not since the funeral. Not since the forced smiles and awkward conversations in front of cameras while their grandmother's body lay in state. Not since the world watched two brothers who clearly couldn't stand to be near each other pretend everything was fine. Harry unlocked his phone and read the message. Just 3 words that made his blood run cold. "We need to talk." Harry stared at the screen. Part of him wanted to ignore it, to go back to sleep, to maintain the fragile peace that distance and silence had created. But another part, the part that still remembered being 7 years old and holding William's hand at their mother's funeral, that part needed to know what William wanted to say. He typed back about what. The response came immediately. William was awake too. Probably in England, where it was mid-morning. Probably sitting in his office at Kensington Palace, working up the courage to send that first message. About Mom. About something I found. Something you need to see. Harry sat up in bed, his heart racing. Megan stirred beside him. "Harry? What's wrong?" "It's William. He says he found something. About Mom." Megan was fully awake now. "What kind of something?" "I don't know. He just said I need to see it." Harry typed, "What did you find?" William's response took longer this time. Harry could picture his brother sitting at his desk, choosing his words carefully, knowing that whatever he said next would change things between them. Again, always again, because everything they said to each other now seemed to make things worse. A letter. From Mom. Written 2 weeks before she died. It was hidden in her desk. The one from Kensington Palace that we moved to storage after she died. They finally opened that storage room. There's a lot of her stuff. But this letter, "Harry, you need to read it." Harry's hands started shaking. He found a letter from Mom. From right before she died. Megan touched his arm. "What does it say?" "He hasn't told me yet. He says I need to read it." Harry typed, "Send me a photo." Of the letter. "No. This needs to be in person. Just you and me. No Megan. No Catherine. No palace officials. Just us." Harry felt anger flash through him. He wants to meet. Just the 2 of us. He specifically said, "No Megan." "Of course he did," Megan said quietly. "They still blame me for everything." Harry typed back, his fingers hard on the screen. "Why can't Megan be there? She's my wife. Because this is between us. Between brothers. This letter, it's about our family. About things Mom wanted us to know. Private things. Everything I do with Megan. She's part of my life. You don't get to exclude her." There was a longer pause this time. Harry could feel William's frustration through the phone. Could picture his brother's jaw clenching. That familiar expression of barely controlled anger. "Fine. Bring Megan. I don't care. But you're reading this letter whether she's there or not. It's too important." Harry looked at Megan. He says, "Fine. You can come. But he's adamant I need to read this letter." Do you trust him? This could be a trap. Get you to England, separate you from me, ambush you with family intervention or something. "It's about Mom," Harry said. He wouldn't lie about that. Whatever else has happened between us, he wouldn't use Mom to manipulate me. But even as he said it, Harry wondered if it was true. The William he'd known growing up wouldn't have. But this William, the William who'd physically attacked him in 2019, who'd accused him of being brainwashed by therapy, who'd sent him 72 hours of angry texts about betraying the family. Harry wasn't sure what this William was capable of. He typed, "When and where?" "Thursday. Kensington Palace. Just come to the apartment. The old one. Where Mom lived. They've opened it for cataloging her things. We can have privacy there. I'm in California. It'll take time to arrange flights. I know where you are, Harry. I'm giving you 3 days. Thursday or nothing. This can't wait." Harry felt that familiar resentment rising. William ordering him around. William setting deadlines. William acting like he was still the heir and Harry was still the spare who had to obey. "I'll be there. But if this is some kind of setup, it's not. I promise." Just read the letter. Then you'll understand. The conversation ended. Harry sat in bed holding his phone, trying to process what had just happened. After months of silence, William had reached out about a letter from their mother, written 2 weeks before she died. "I don't like this," Megan said. "The timing feels wrong. Right after your book came out. Right after we did the Netflix series. Now suddenly there's a mysterious letter from Diana that only William can show you. He said they just opened the storage room." "That's true. I saw something about it in the news. They've been cataloging Mum's belongings. It makes sense they'd find things. Or it's convenient. Maybe they're trying to manipulate you. Use your mother's memory to get you back to England, back under their control." Harry turned to face her. "What if it's real? What if Mum really did leave something for us? Something important? Then William can photograph it and send it to you. Why do you have to fly to England? Why does it have to be in person?" "Because it's Mum," Harry said quietly. "Because even after everything, she's still the one thing William and I have in common. The one thing we both love more than we hate each other." Megan was quiet for a moment. Then she said, "I'm coming with you. I don't care what William wants. You're not walking into that viper's nest alone." 3 days later, Harry and Megan landed at Heathrow. They'd flown commercial. No private jets this time, no royal treatment. Just economy plus tickets and security guards trying to be inconspicuous while paparazzi followed them through the airport. They didn't go to Frogmore Cottage. Didn't stay anywhere the family would know about. Harry had rented a private home through an intermediary. Somewhere they could have privacy. Somewhere Megan would be safe while he went to meet William. Because despite her insistence on coming to England, Harry had convinced her not to come to the actual meeting. "If you're there, he'll just be defensive. He'll clam up. We'll fight about you instead of talking about the letter. Let me do this alone. I'll tell you everything after." Now Harry stood outside Kensington Palace at 9 a.m. Thursday morning, looking up at the windows of the apartment where his mother had lived, where he'd grown up, where Diana had tried to create something like a normal home for her sons despite the abnormality of their lives. Security let him in without fuss. They knew he was coming. William had arranged it. Harry walked through halls he hadn't walked in years, past rooms full of memories he'd tried hard to forget. William was waiting in Diana's old sitting room. He looked terrible, older than his 41 years, with dark circles under his eyes and tension in every line of his body. He stood when Harry entered, but didn't approach. Didn't offer a handshake or a hug. They just stood there, brothers who used to be best friends, now barely able to be in the same room. "You came," William said. "You said it was about Mom." "Of course I came." "Is Megan here?" "In London." "Not here. You said this was between us." Something in William's face relaxed slightly. "Thank you. I know that was hard. Where's the letter?" William walked to Diana's old writing desk, the same desk where she'd written countless letters, made countless plans, tried to control the small aspects of her life that the palace couldn't touch. He pulled out a drawer and removed a cream-colored envelope. "The workers found it yesterday, wedged in the back of this drawer. Like Mum hid it there deliberately. Like she wanted it found, but not immediately." William handed the envelope to Harry. On the front, in Diana's handwriting, "To my sons. To be read together. Only together. I mean it." Harry's eyes filled with tears just seeing her handwriting. "How do we know it's real? How do we know someone didn't forge this?" "I had it tested. Handwriting analysis. Paper dating. Everything. It's real, Harry. It's from Mum. Written August 15th, 1997. 16 days before she died." Harry sat down heavily in one of Diana's old chairs. "Have you read it?" "No." "It says together. I waited for you." That surprised Harry. He looked at his brother, really looked at him, and saw something he hadn't expected. Grief. Fear. The same emotions Harry felt. For a moment, they weren't the heir and the spare. They weren't the brother who stayed and the brother who left. They were just two men about to read their dead mother's words. "Okay," Harry said. "Let's read it together." William sat in the chair across from Harry, the same chairs they'd sat in as children while Diana read them stories. while she tried to give them moments of normalcy in lives that were anything but normal. Harry opened the envelope carefully. Inside were 3 pages, handwritten, dated. He began reading aloud. My darling William and Harry, if you're reading this, I'm dead, and you're together. I hope you're together. I specified that because I'm worried, so worried, that after I'm gone, you'll drift apart. That the palace will use my death to drive a wedge between you. That you'll let grief and anger and duty separate you when you need each other most. Don't let that happen. Please, you're brothers. That bond is sacred. That bond is stronger than anything the palace can throw at it. Stronger than duty. Stronger than the media. Stronger than whoever you marry or whatever paths your lives take. You need to protect that bond. Protect each other, because nobody else will. The palace will try to mold you into what they need. The press will try to turn you into narratives. Your future wives will have their own agendas. Everyone will try to use you, or shape you, or control you. Except each other. You're the only 2 people in the world who truly understand what it's like to be you. Who know what it means to grow up royal, to lose your mother young, to carry the weight of expectation and duty and public scrutiny. Don't lose that connection. Whatever else happens, don't lose each other. Harry stopped reading, his voice choking. William's face was wet with tears. They looked at each other, thinking the same thing. They'd failed. They'd let exactly what Diana feared happen. They'd let grief and anger and duty drive them apart. William nodded at the letter. Keep reading. Harry continued. I need to tell you some things. Hard things. Things I couldn't say while I was alive, but you need to know now that I'm gone. First, about your father. Charles is a good man in many ways. He loves you. He's proud of you. But he's damaged. The way he was raised, cold, distant, prioritizing duty over emotion, it broke something in him. He can't express love properly. He can't be emotionally present the way you need. Don't blame him for that. It's not his fault. It's how he was trained. But also don't accept it as normal. Don't let him do to you what was done to him. William, especially you. You're going to be king someday. The palace will try to turn you into another Charles. Another emotionally distant monarch who prioritizes institution over people. Don't let them. Be warm. Be present. Be the father to your children that Charles couldn't quite be to you. And Harry, they're going to resent William. You already do. I can see it. You resent that he's the heir and you're the spare. That he gets attention and responsibility while you get neither. That everyone cares what he does and nobody cares about you unless you mess up. That resentment will grow, especially after I'm gone. You'll feel overlooked, undervalued, like you don't matter. But you do matter. You matter so much. Not because of your title or your place in succession, but because you're you. Because you have the biggest heart of anyone I know. Because you feel things deeply and love fiercely and care about people who have nothing to offer you in return. Don't let the palace make you feel small. Don't let anyone make you feel like being the spare means you don't matter. You matter to me. You matter to William, even when he doesn't know how to show it. And you're going to matter to so many people if you let yourself. Harry had to stop reading. Tears were streaming down his face. Diana had known. She'd known exactly how he would feel, exactly what he would struggle with. And she tried to warn him, tried to tell him he mattered. But he hadn't heard it, because she died before he could. And for 26 years, Harry had felt exactly like she predicted, overlooked, undervalued, like he only mattered when he messed up. William's voice was rough when he spoke. She knew us. Even at 10 and 12, she knew exactly who we'd become. Harry wiped his eyes and kept reading. Second, about Camilla. By the time you read this, your father will probably have married her. I'm not going to tell you how to feel about that. Your relationship with her is yours to figure out. But I will say this. Don't let her replace me in your minds. Don't let anyone tell you that Camilla is your stepmother in the way that matters. She's your father's wife. That's all. You had one mother, me, and I loved you more than anything in this world. Camilla might be kind to you. She might try to have a relationship with you. That's fine. You can accept that if you want. But don't feel obligated to love her. Don't feel guilty for resenting her. Don't let anyone make you feel like being polite to the woman who had an affair with your married father is the same as accepting her as family. You get to decide that. Both of you. Together. William made a sound that might have been a laugh or a sob. We didn't do that part together either, did we? You resented her, and I accepted her, and we never talked about why. You seemed fine with her, Harry said quietly. You seemed okay that Dad married his mistress. I felt like I was the only one who couldn't get past it. I wasn't fine with it. William stopped. I was the heir. I had to maintain relationships. Had to keep the family functional. I couldn't afford to hold grudges. So you chose duty over feelings. Just like Mom said you would. William flinched, but he didn't argue. Harry returned to the letter. Third, and most important, don't let anyone turn you against each other. This is what I'm most afraid of. That after I'm gone, forces will work to separate you. To make you competitors instead of allies. To use you against each other. The palace will do it without even meaning to. They'll give William more attention, more resources, more support because he's the heir. They'll overlook Harry because he's not as important to succession. That imbalance will breed resentment. The press will do it deliberately. They'll create narratives about rivalry. They'll compare you constantly. They'll try to make one of you the hero and one the villain because that sells papers. Your future wives will do it unwittingly. They'll want to protect you. They'll see slights where none were intended. They'll encourage you to choose them over your brother because that's what spouses do. They prioritize their marriage over other relationships. And you'll do it to yourselves. You'll hurt each other without meaning to. You'll say things in anger that can't be taken back. You'll make choices that betray the other's trust. You'll drift apart slowly at first, then all at once. Don't let that happen. When someone tries to turn you against each other, and they will, remember this letter. Remember that your mother's dying wish was for you to stay together, to protect your brotherhood above everything else. William, you're going to be king. That's a burden Harry will never fully understand. But don't let that burden make you cold to your brother. Don't become so focused on duty that you forget Harry is a person who needs you. Harry, you're going to feel overlooked, undervalued, like your life doesn't matter as much as William's. But don't let that resentment poison your relationship. Don't punish William for circumstances neither of you chose. You need each other, more than you know, more than you'll want to admit, especially when you find the women you love. Your wives are going to be important. I hope they're wonderful women who make you happy. But your brotherhood existed first. It's the foundation. Don't let anyone, not even someone you love, convince you to abandon that foundation. Harry stopped reading, looked at William. Both brothers thinking about Meghan, about Catherine, about how their wives had been blamed for driving them apart. Mom would have liked Meghan, Harry said quietly. William's jaw tightened. We don't know that. She literally just said our wives would try to come between us. And you've let that happen. You've let Catherine and the palace convince you that Meghan is the problem. Meghan is part of the problem, Harry. You can't see it because you're in love with her, but the rest of us can see that she encouraged you to leave, to burn bridges. 2. To choose my wife over an institution that was destroying us both. Harry's voice rose. Yeah, she did encourage that. Just like Mom encouraged both of us to prioritize people over protocol, to be warm instead of cold. 2. Don't do that, William interrupted. Don't use Mom to justify your choices. You didn't leave because of some principled stand. You left because Meghan couldn't handle being royal, because she wanted to be a celebrity instead of serving the crown. And you stayed because you're too afraid to be anything except what they want you to be. Because you've let them turn you into exactly what Mom warned against, another Charles. Another emotionally distant royal who prioritizes duty over humanity. They were standing now, facing each other. All the old arguments were surging. The same fights they'd had 100 times, dressed up in new words but fundamentally unchanged. William's phone buzzed. A text from Catherine. How's it going? Are you okay? Harry's phone buzzed. A text from Meghan. I'm worried. Call me when you can. Both brothers looked at their phones, then at each other, then at the letter still in Harry's hand. We're doing it, William said quietly. We're doing exactly what she said we'd do, letting other people drive us apart. Then stop, Harry said. Stop blaming Meghan. Stop acting like I'm the traitor and you're the loyal one. Stop. I will if you will, William interrupted. Stop acting like leaving was noble. Stop pretending you're better than me because you chose love over duty. Stop. Stop what? Being honest? Stop telling the truth about how toxic this family is. William's face went hard. There it is. The truth. You think we're toxic. You think Mom will be proud of you for leaving, for writing that book, for doing those interviews where you aired every piece of dirty laundry you could think of. She literally said, not to let the palace turn us cold, not to prioritize institution over people. I was dying in that environment, William. It was killing me, just like it killed her. Don't you dare. William's voice went quiet. Dangerous. Don't you dare compare yourself to Mom. She stayed. She fought from within. She didn't run away to California and do tell-all interviews for money. She died, Harry said flatly. She stayed and she died. And you want me to do the same thing? Sacrifice myself on the altar of royal duty while you watch and do nothing. William grabbed the letter from Harry's hand, started reading where Harry had stopped. You're going to fight. I know you are. You're going to say terrible things to each other, things you can't take back. You're going to hurt each other in ways that feel permanent. But here's what I need you to know. Nothing is permanent if you don't let it be. You can always repair what's broken between you. You can always choose your brotherhood over your pride. It won't be easy. It will require both of you to be vulnerable, to admit mistakes, to forgive things that feel unforgivable. But you can do it. If you want it badly enough, you can do it. Do you want it badly enough? That's the question I'm leaving you with. Not whether you can repair your relationship, but whether you want to. Because if you don't want to, if your pride or your anger or your sense of being right is more important than your brotherhood, then nothing I say will matter. You'll drift apart and spend the rest of your lives as strangers who happen to share blood. But if you do want to, if somewhere underneath all the hurt and resentment, you still love each other, then there's hope. Start small. One conversation. One honest admission that you've both made mistakes. One moment of vulnerability where you stop performing your roles and just be brothers. Then build from there. Slowly, carefully, without the palace or the press or your wives weighing in. Just you two, remembering who you used to be to each other. Figuring out who you can be now. I won't be there to mediate. I won't be there to remind you that you love each other. You'll have to do that yourselves. But you can. I know you can. Because I raised you to be better than the system that tried to shape you. I raised you to value love over duty. People over protocol. Brotherhood over everything else. Please don't forget that. Please don't let my death be the thing that destroys your relationship. Let it be the thing that reminds you how precious and fragile family is. How quickly it can be lost. How important it is to hold on to the people who truly matter. You matter to each other, even when you can't see it, even when you hate each other, even when it feels like the gap between you is too wide to bridge. You matter to each other. Don't forget that. I love you both, more than I could ever express. You were the best things I ever did. The only purely good things in my complicated, messy life. Take care of each other. That's all I ask. Take care of each other. Your loving Mom. William finished reading and set the letter down carefully. His hands were shaking. Harry's were too. They stood there in their mother's sitting room, surrounded by her furniture and her memories and her desperate hope that they would stay together. I'm sorry, William said finally, for everything, for the physical fight, for the angry texts, for not supporting you when you said you were struggling, for choosing the institution over you. Harry's throat was tight. I'm sorry too, for the book, for the interviews, for making everything public, for leaving without really trying to make it work, for choosing Meghan over you.